Welcome back, fellow seekers. Let's dive right in. Today, we're exploring something truly profound. In this explainer, we're taking a deep dive into Master RK's incredible teachings on expanding human consciousness. Specifically, we're looking at a deeply transformative practice called Samardha Sadguru Sparsha Dhyana. So let's just take a breath together, center ourselves, and get ready to unlock the divine potential that is literally sitting right inside of us.
Now take a look at this emblem. That divine lotus and torch represents the Guru Parampara, and it points straight to the ultimate goal of all of this. You know, we aren't just sitting quietly on a cushion to stretch our muscles or relax for 10 minutes. The aim here is massive. It's about bringing heaven on earth. How? By actually allowing the omnipotent Guru consciousness to step in and guide our own individual consciousness. Master RK teaches that when we achieve this union, it paves the way for a disease-free life, real profound peace, and eventually spiritual immortality. It is a total game changer.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll quickly move through the synthesis of science and spirit, the levels of spiritual experience, the chakras and the 5 elements, the sacred power of the concept of muna or dynamic silence, and finally, we'll wrap up with your actionable daily meditation roadmap.
Okay, starting off with Section 1, the synthesis of science and spirit, bridging the microcosm and the macrocosm.
You've probably heard that ancient occult maxim, as above, so below, right? Well, it absolutely hits the nail on the head. Think about it. On the microscopic level, our bodies are made of atoms where electrons are just zipping around a nucleus at the speed of light, and crazily enough, they never collide. Then zoom all the way out to the macrocosm. You have planets reliably revolving around the sun in these massive designated cosmic paths. The human body is quite literally a miniature solar system. So organizing our internal energy, it's not some far-out mystical fantasy. We are just following natural, predictable, scientific law.
Which naturally leads us right into Section 2, the levels of spiritual experience and the journey to emergence.
So how does this transformation actually play out for you and me? It happens in 3 distinct stages. First up is evocation. This is where we actively invite and identify that omnipresent consciousness of the Guru. Then comes sustenance. This is where you learn to really feel and hold on to that supreme connection, keeping it alive in every single waking moment. And finally, emergence. This is the big one. Your consciousness is actually superimposed by the divine consciousness. You become a willing, open instrument for the divine plan. And look, the timeline on this varies for everyone. But every single person who practices this is going to experience immediate upgrades. We're talking better physical health, sharper decision-making, and just a really deep inner peace.
All right. We know the destination. Let's look at the map in Section 3, chakras and the 5 elements, mapping the subtle body.
To figure out our internal energy, we really have to talk about the Shat chakras. Think of these as 6 divine gates or locks standing between you and universal power. Chakras are non-physical energy nodes located in your subtle body. They're essentially the grand intersections where your vital life force or prana flows. And what's really fascinating is how these subtle centers perfectly align with the physical main nerve ganglia coming right off your spinal column. It's that synthesis of science and spirit playing out all over again.
Let's break down these incredible energy centers. Starting at the very base of your spine, we have the Muladhara. This connects to the earth element. It radiates a deep, vibrant red from a square shape and ties into our sense of smell. Moving up, you'll find the Swadhisthana. This one glows orange, shaped like a beautiful crescent moon, carrying the water element and our sense of taste. Higher up is the fire of the Manipurika, a bright yellow triangle that governs our vision. Right in the heart center, the Anahata breathes the air element through a green hexagon, and that rules our touch. At the throat, we have the Vishuddhi, embodying space as a calm blue circle, mastering sound. And finally, right between the eyebrows, the Ajna. It's an indigo oval representing the mind itself. Regulating the 5 elements within these exact 6 chakras is what allows your prana to finally flow freely, bringing absolute purity to your physical body.
Now that our pathways are completely mapped out, let's move to Section 4, the sacred power of AUM, the sound of creation. To really grasp the power of this practice, we have to look at the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, specifically the verse Tatrame Ekadra Samyamaha. What does that actually mean? It translates to experiencing Dharana, which is concentration, Dhyana, which is meditation, and Samadhi, total equilibrium, all at the exact same time. Master RK structured this entire practice so that by using the sacred syllable Om, we can reach this elusive state of Samyamana in a way that's actually accessible and honestly plain sailing for us.
The ancient Mandukya Upanishad gives us a brilliant breakdown of this sacred sound. Om actually represents a fourfold consciousness. The A, or Vaishwanara, is our waking state that encompasses everything around us. The U, Taijasa, is the dream state, holding the fluid qualities of the others. The M, Prajna, is the state of deep sleep. But it's the final, silent component, the Ardhamatra, or Tureeya, that we are truly after. That is the fourth quarter. It's a dimension existing entirely beyond the regular 3 dimensions of time and consciousness.
So how do we reach that elusive fourth quarter? Well, that brings us to section 5, Muna, the dynamic silence.
We really need to redefine what silence means for a modern seeker. Muna is absolutely not about taking a nap or just letting your mind wander. Nature is never idle, and this silence isn't either. Muna is dynamic silence. It is the state of shunya, the pure void. It's an incredibly active, profound surrender to the ultimate cosmic energy. When you slip into this dynamic silence, you are essentially plugging straight into the energy that powers the supreme energy itself. That is the exact space where true, infinite expansion of your consciousness happens.
Ancient texts capture this perfectly with the verse, Rucho ak sher parame vyoman, that tells us that inside this dynamic silence lies the ultimate energy. When you sit down for this meditation, your only job is to become a completely thought-free witness to what is happening inside your physical body. Don't sit idly. Definitely don't fall asleep. Just maintain the silence, stay highly alert, and simply watch the universe wake up inside of you. All right, let's bring all these massive cosmic concepts down to earth with section 6, your daily meditation roadmap, stepping into practice. Before you even start chanting, we have to prepare the physical vessel. If you're a beginner, try to meditate twice a day. The energy shifts during sunrise and sunset are absolutely ideal for this. Make sure you wear loose, comfortable clothes so your breathing can be deep and totally natural. You can sit right on the floor or in a chair, it doesn't matter, but a straight spine is non-negotiable. That prana needs a clear, straight path to flow. Tuck your chin back just a tiny bit, kind of like a soldier at attention. Get comfortable, for sure, but remember our rule about mana. Don't get so comfortable that you end up snoring. Purity of body and mind starts right here, with good posture and natural breath.
Take a look at the Sanskrit alphabets assigned to the petals of the Vishuddhi chakra here. When you meditate and place your focus on these energetic centers, you're symbolically connecting with these specific alphabets. But they aren't just letters on a page, they are actual frequencies. The whole goal is to dial into that inner sound that quite literally kills the outer noise, opening the floodgates for pure cosmic energy to flow unimpeded through your freshly aligned posture.
Okay, here is the absolute heart of the Samardha Sadguru Sparsha Dhyana. It is a very specific 21-step process. You'll take a deep breath in, and as you gracefully exhale, you chant the sacred Om while putting all your focus on specific chakras. Phase 1 is ascending. You'll chant Om 6 times, moving your focus upward from the Muladhara at the base, all the way up to the Ajna between your eyebrows. Phase 2 is descending. You'll chant Om 5 times, tracing your way back down from the throat's Visuddhi down to the Muladhara. And finally, Phase 3 is ascending once more. You'll chant Om 10 times, starting at the Swadhisthana and moving all the way up through the mind, the intellect, the ego, until you softly end at the buddhi. So, that's 21 deep, intentional, chakra-focused Oms total.
Once you finish those 21 AUMs, you just rest in that dynamic silence we talked about. You just witness. Then, you wrap up the practice by softly reciting this beautiful verse. Shri Mata, Sri Maha Ragni, Shri Math Simhasaneshwari, Chittagni Kunda Sambhuta, Deva Karya Samyujita, Shri Shiva Shiva Sakti Kyar Opini, La Litambika, Om. Reciting this completely seals the practice. It finalizes your evocation, and it is at this exact moment that the omnipotent guru actually takes full responsibility for you, the aspirant, guiding your consciousness safely forward. We've covered a lot of ground today, zooming all the way from the macrocosm of the cosmos right down into the microcosm of your own breath. You've got the map, the spiritual framework, and the exact step-by-step method that Master RK left for us. So there is really only one thing left to ask. Are you ready to step into that dynamic silence and actually awaken the universe that is waiting inside you? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, keep seeking, keep breathing, and fully embrace the power of silence.